What's good, everybody? It's John. I come back at you on another video. So with this video, I wanted to talk about the present moment, the now, right? This moment here as you're watching this video. I want to talk about making peace with that present moment, right? With your current reality, with how things are, being able to make peace with that. And the reason why you want to make peace with your present moment, wherever it is that you're at, whatever has unfolded, whatever situation that you're in. The reason why you want to make peace with it is quite simple. It's because it already is. Now, I know there are some people out there who may not be fond of their current reality or their current situation, and I totally get it. I understand, right? You could be in a position that is undesirable, that seems so far away from where it is that you actually want to be. But you are still, regardless of what that situation looks like, you are still in the perfect situation. And it's because if wherever it is that you're in is undesirable, then you are in a place where you're experiencing contrast. So you've experienced the opposite end of what you like, right? You have your dreams, your goals, right? And if what you're experiencing is undesirable, then you are on the opposite spectrum, on the contrast. And that is still a good thing, because now that you've experienced contrast, you can now get clear in your mind of what it is that you do want, right? So it's actually, life is always working in your favor. Whether you want to believe this or not, life is always working in your favor, because if things in your life appear that aren't to your liking, you need to stop, take a deep breath, understand that, and say, okay, what is it that I actually want out of this situation now, right? And begin putting your focus and your attention on what is that you do want, so then you can begin actively creating that, right? The reason why I say you want to make peace with your present is because it already is. It already happened. It exists. Because it's already in your life, that means you created it. That means it exists, right? So no need to be angry. No need to be frustrated. No need to beat yourself up, right? Just know that with your creative power, you've probably done it without being aware, right? Unaware. Or you've probably created by default, unknowingly, right? Unaware of your true power. You've probably created that situation or that set of circumstances. But that's okay, right? Moving forward, you can now create what is that you want by focusing on what is that you want, right? See, it's often most people are not aware of their creative power and their gift that they were given, the gift of the imagination, the gift of their thoughts, the feelings, emotions, everything. Most people are not aware of that. And so people tend to use their creative gifts incorrectly, right? Because if they're in a position that's undesirable, or they're somewhere in a situation that frustrates them, rather than seeing that as contrast and saying, okay, these are undesirable things, let me now focus on what is that I do want and get excited for that. Get excited for these things making its way to me, right? And putting my attention on what is that I do want. People in these situations and positions will focus on what's unfolded in their lives and be angry at what's unfolded and put all their attention on what already happened, right? Here's an example. You probably know someone, this could be yourself, right? But you probably know someone who's struggled in the dating scene, who it seems as though every partner that they come across, or potential partner, right, ends up being the same type of person. They attract the same type of guy. It could be, and I've heard it, and the reason why I'm speaking about it for women is because I feel like I definitely knew this one person who said this, and I've heard this from numerous women, that for some reason they keep attracting the same type of guy, right? The same guy that cheats on them, hurts their feelings, right? Like, we've all heard this story before, right? That happens because after they get an undesirable encounter, a relationship with a previous partner of theirs that did all these things, they put their attention on all the negativity that happened. They put their attention on that same person. They keep thinking about that person. They keep thinking about these things that happened in their situation. All their energy gets put on that. And so because they keep thinking about those events that happened, all those bad events, and they're thinking that, this keeps happening and this must be all guys, that they continue attracting the same type of person. They keep running into situations where they find themselves being with the same type of person and ignoring the red flags, or like instead of knowing that that was contrast that they'd experienced, and now they can get clear on what it is that they do want in a partner, they continue focusing on all the bad things and all the things that they didn't want in their partner. So if you're focusing on the bad, you're going to continue attracting the bad in your life, right? It's no different than if you wanted a brand new car, right? You want a brand new car because your current car may not be the most reliable, or it may be breaking down, or it may no longer be meeting your needs, right? And so the correct way would be to focus on the brand new car and how exciting of a feeling it's going to be when you get that brand new car and you drive that brand new car, and how much easier it's going to make your life become, because then that new car is going to be reliable and it's going to have that new car smell, and it's going to look good and impress your friends and family, and is also going to provide you with the adequate space that you need in the vehicle, right? Those are many reasons to be excited for wanting a new car, and just the feeling of having a new car, having something new, right? Being able to treat yourself because you deserve it, rather than focusing on the feeling of that new car. Oftentimes people put their attention and their focus on how frustrating their current vehicle is and how unreliable it is. If your focus is on the negative and what already is, then you're just going to continue attracting more of the negative, or attracting more of what already is, right? If physical reality right now is not to your liking, then you should not place your attention on it, because you want to create something better, right? You want to have a better future, right? So then that means your attention has to be focused on something else rather than the present moment, right? And that's the trap that people often fall into. They tend to see the physical reality as fact, as truth, because it's physical, right? You can see, you can touch it, right? This is the truth. But what people don't understand is all that is just a current reflection. Your present reality is just a reflection of your previous thoughts and previous feelings, because your previous thoughts and feelings and everything and actions attracted where you're at currently. So if you want to attract a new situation, a new environment, new everything, you need to start thinking new thoughts and be vibrating new energy, right? So this is the importance of making peace with where you're at, right? Oftentimes, if people find themselves in an undesirable situation, they think that this is it. This is how things are going to be. This is life. And they get so frustrated and angry about how things are. And I understand the human side to it, right? Like, I understand that there can be frustration, right? If you feel that you're deserving of more and you want more out of life, but that's just using your creative powers incorrectly, right? You want to put your attention on what it is that you want, because if you have creative power, the ability to create, wouldn't it make sense to focus all your attention on what it is that you do want, so that you can create what you do want, right? If people are in an undesirable situation, they put all the attention on being frustrated at how things currently are and why aren't things the way they want them to be, rather than putting all their attention on how they want things to be and be excited knowing that that is already on the way because they're creating it. That is the big difference. And this is why it's important to focus on self-development and growth, right? These books, these audios, because it helps change your perspective. It helps you're able to see how you've been operating versus how you should be operating. And oftentimes there is a big disconnect between the two that helps explain why we may not be where it is that we want to be or go, because we it's likely that we've just been operating incorrectly, right? That's a very normal thing for people to do. Just be mad at where things are rather than getting clear, using the situation, say, okay, I've experienced contrast. That's okay. Now let me get clear in my mind on where it is that I want to be and how it is that I want to live, and how do I want things to be moving forward, and put your attention on that. Because if you were to fall in love with your dream life and continuously put your attention and your vision on how you want things to be in the future, you're going to be excited. You're going to be waking up excited. You're going to know and feel that there's reasons to wake up and reasons to go out and tackle the day and pursue it, because there's bright days ahead. There's brighter days ahead, right? If you believe things are the way they are and they're going to stay the same way, what motivation do you have to want to get out of bed and go out and do things, right? You're going to be less motivated because you think life can't be this way for the rest of my life, right? Like, you want to make sure your attention and the focus is on the right things. It's on what it is that you want, because at the end of the day, we're always chasing happiness. And so that's where our attention should be, on the things that make us happy, so that we can be happy, right? You want to find ways to be happy unconditionally, right? So that regardless of what's going on in your life, you'll pretty much still be invincible, because your joy will never be taken away from you, right? And that's what we live for. We live this life to experience outrageous joy. If we can find a way to be happy unconditionally, then we'll always be creating what is it we want out of life, and we'll be living our best life, because that is the energy that we're vibrating. And even if quote unquote bad things happen, you won't ever worry, because you know that that's just contrast, and that it'll help you get clear on what it is that you do want. So that's why you need to learn, if you haven't been doing so, right, to make peace with your present, because it already is. If your present exists, then that means it's manifest. It's manifest. That means it already happened. It happened because of your prior thoughts and your prior energy. So because it already happened, that means it's old news, right? Because it happened, it's old news. It happened, okay? There's no need to fight it. Like, people has this tendency to want to resist what already is. Like, why is there the urge to constantly just fight it? It's exhausting, constantly trying to fight and constantly trying to rebel and repel the things you don't want when they already happen, they already exist. Just accept it, embrace it, embrace that you've created it, accept that you've created it. That's okay. There's no reason to fight it or resist. Take a deep breath and make peace with where things are at, because now you know that you hold the key to creating anything you want in your lifetime. And that is with thinking about what it is that you do want, focusing on what it is that you do want, what it is that you want to be, do, or have. Put your attention on that. Believe that you're deserving of it. Believe that you're worthy, and get excited. Put a smile on your face. Know that better days and brighter days are ahead. If you make peace with where you're at in your current situation, that is how you turn everything around for the better and start heading in the right direction. That is when you begin to feel invincible as a human being, because now it doesn't matter what unfolds in your life, whether good or bad, because you know that you can create what it is that you want, and that will help push you forward in life. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 1 million subscribers, guys. Once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.